So you want to become a better programmer? Becoming better is not just about writing more code. It's about mastering what I call the three pillars of programming: knowledge, experience, and the most important of all, self-development. Hi, my name is Marcel, and my goal is to help you reach your maximum potential. For more videos like this, click the subscribe button down below. So let's break down the three pillars. The first one is knowledge. To get started with programming, you will need some kind of starting knowledge to write some projects. Most people just go into YouTube and select the language of their choice and just start watching tutorials to learn that specific language. Well, there's nothing really problematic with that. It's just that, in my opinion, it's not the most optimal way to start learning programming. The advice I'm about to give you, I actually learned it from my father for learning these kind of skills like programming. When you are starting out, don't just go mindlessly on the internet learning things, watching videos, looking at courses. Pick a project that you want to make. Let's say I want to make a mobile app for tracking my workouts. If you have a goal in mind, a project that you want to make, it will be so much easier to learn programming on the internet. Why is that? Well, it's because you don't want to learn things that will be useless. Let's say you watch a YouTube video about JavaScript, the whole language, a 3-hour long tutorial about that. Well, there will be stuff that you won't even need. So having a goal set, a project, will make learning 10 times easier. When I started out programming, I wanted to make a website with my friend for a tennis competition that was coming up, because the site that was previously used was not that great, it was outdated, and we wanted to make a modern version of that. But we didn't know how to make websites really. We were just interested in the topic. And so how did we start? Well, we had our project in mind, and we learned the things that we did need to build that project. We made that project in Python, but we didn't need to learn every feature of Python to make that website. It made the learning process so much easier because we narrowed down the knowledge that we really need. The reason that I recommend learning only the knowledge that you need, just think back to school. How many subjects were you taught that you didn't actually use in life? All with the saying that, oh, you might need it later in life. What if you get a job where you will need to know about chemistry or some bullshit like that? We learned a bunch of useless stuff that we won't even use. So why do that to yourself? The second pillar, experience. The reason I said select a project when learning is because learning is not all about just theory. You need experience. You need to try things out to really drill those concepts into your mind. So if you have a project that you want to build, this is the reason it will 10 times the speed at which you learn programming. Because you already have a project that you can try out the things you learned on. Just think about it. If you only watch videos on YouTube about how to code, but you don't actually code, you will never actually learn how to code. For example, if I was looking at videos on the internet about how to drive a car, and I watched, let's say, 100 hours of that, I still wouldn't be able to drive a car. If you put me into the car, I would just crash it immediately, because I don't have the experience. So with the tennis website, that was the reason that we could learn programming much faster, because we had that project and we practiced on it. So by acquiring knowledge and getting experience through making projects, let's say you will get good at programming in 2 to 3 years. But that's it. You have to just code every day for 3 years to get good at programming. Well, that's where the third pillar comes in. So let's say you would get good at programming in 3 years if you just did some projects and watched courses and tutorials. But what if we could do some habits that would shorten this time span down to a year or 2 years. That's where self-development comes in. Just think about it. Let's say right now you are playing video games, not getting enough sleep, you don't exercise, your mental performance will be poor. Let's say your mental performance is like 30% of what it could be. And with this 30%, even if you practice every day, you will only get good at programming in 3 years because your mental capacity is only at 30%. But if we could increase that mental performance, that mental capacity up to like 80, 90 or even 100%, how much faster could you get good at programming? So let's say by exercising every day and eating clean, not eating fast food, your mental performance would jump 20 to 30% at least. You would get there so much faster. And if you want to learn more about self-development, check out the other videos on this channel. They will help you a lot.